can continue. Page 203. Jeevitam aniyatam maranam niyatam. I think you can understand these Pali words. Jeevita means life. Jeevitam. Aniyatam. Niyatam means permanent. Aniyatam means impermanent. Niyatam, aniyatam. Jeevitam, aniyatam. Life is uncertain. Marana, death. Niyatam, sure. Life is uncertain, but death is sure. It is true. Then why worry? Yeah? Why worry? Then let us recite this. The first stanza you can hear always when the monks conduct funeral service. They recite this. Aniccavattu sankhara uppadavaya dhammino uppajjitta niruddhyanti tesang upasamo sukho. Follow me. Aniccavattu sankhara uppadavaya dhammino uppajjitta niruddhyanti tesang upasamo sukho. Aniccavattu sankhara uppadavaya dhammino uppajjitta niruddhyanti tesang upasamo sukho. This is for us to recite whenever there is any death. This is for us to contemplate or concentrate, meditate, to understand what is life, what is death. So when you are going to attend, to visit, when somebody passed away, you can carry this book also. Usually you go and offer some joysticks and pay your respect your traditional way. After, if you want, after offerings or respecting by burning some joystick, you can recite this one 3 times. Aniccavattu sankhara, just like your prayer. You can see when Christians attend, they do like this and say something, then go away. And Muslim also, they do something or they recite something. The Buddhists have no proper system. They have their own way. Some people just go and see and go away, that's all. We must have something. Then others also follow and respect. So when you are going to attend to a funeral house, keep your book and recite this. And you respect this departed person, you concentrate, and you also take very seriously at that time. the meaning. All component things are indeed transient. They are of the nature of arising and decay. Having come into being, they cease to be. The cessation of this process is bliss. This process means the continuations of life process, the cessations of this process. There are a lot of things to discuss here, a lot of Dhamma. This word carries a lot of ideas about our life, the nature, and all those living things. I do not know whether you can remember how many times I have explained or given the definitions of this word, sankhara, anicca, impermanent or transient. All component. Sankhara means component things. Component means the combinations of many things, known and unknown. When life comes into existence, that existence has taken place due to combinations of so many things, so many factors, elements, energies. So they have their own gravity and binding factors, elements and energies, then take different shape, then appear. But we never analyze. We have given names. We take only that much, outlook. But when we analyze, we can understand how many things are there. In Satipatthana Sutta, way of mindfulness, the Buddha has introduced these 4 methods for us to analyze. Then it will become vipassana meditation, to analyze, to understand the nature of everything. If not, we take one of these as an object for our meditation, then go on concentrating, then it will become samatha to train the mind. So, component thing, sankhara, Pali word. The definitions is given in the Pali language also. Uppada, Thiti, Bhanga. 3 characteristics in every component thing. Everything that which exists. 3 characteristics. Uppada, Thiti, Bhanga. Uppada, arising. Things appear due to the combinations of all these. Then Thiti. Thiti means remain, exist. Exist or remain for a certain period, but not forever. It is impossible to remain forever because this is the combinations of many things. These things separate. When they are separated, dissolved, other things also disappear. Upada, Thiti, exist by decay, changing, existence take place. In the end, Bhanga. Bhanga means dissolved, disappear. That is how world, universe exists. We can see galaxies millions and billions of galaxies, stars, planets, visible, invisible, infinite, no limit, no end. And all these things that which exist are component, element, energies combined together and different shape. Suns and moons, earth, planets, living beings, everything, all are components. This word sankhara, so we can accommodate all these existing things into this word, sankhara. So what is the characteristic of samsara? Upada, thiti, bhanga. Appear, exist, going on changing and disappear. This is the nature of our life. We worry. We are not happy. When this separation takes place, that separation creates worries, disturbances, unhappiness. Therefore, suffering is created by our mind. It is not that object creates suffering. The way how we take it into our mind creates suffering. We take it by using our craving and attachment. And this craving and attachment gives some sort of emotional satisfaction. We like it very much. Now we want to keep this with us as our property, or as our partner, as our children. But all these things are impermanent. We never think in that way. The trouble is there, the way how we analyze, the way how we take things into our mind. We never analyze. Although we claim them as our or mine, but we cannot claim actually, because we cannot control them according to our will or wish. Changes take place against our will and our wish. If it is our property, even this body we claim as our, but this is not our property. That is why we cannot control. So many unhappy, so many miserable, so many disturbances take place here, which we don't like. So if it is ours, we must have authority, we must have power to control all those things which we don't like. So our craving creates all these concepts. Then we think we can keep these things for a long period. We think, how nice if I can live few hundred years. Wonderful. See, craving is so grave, so deep in our mind, we are crazy for that. How nice if I can live few hundred years or 1,000 years. But that thinking is very childish, because it is impossible. There is no such thing here in this world. See how our craving misleads us. When we analyze 10 kinds of bala, a strength, but the Buddha had I remember some times ago I have explained 10 kind of strength what the Buddha had. There are 2 items. So according to his enlightenment or wisdom, he can understand what is possible, what is impossible. This is the 2 characteristics of his bala, his strength. And our understanding is so poor. Impossible things we take in this thinking that it is possible. That is ignorant. And there are certain things which are possible, but we do not know that they are possible for us to complete. Possible and impossible. It is impossible for a living being to live forever. It is impossible for a living being to remain without decaying, without getting old. It is impossible for a living being to live without facing all sorts of sicknesses. It is impossible for a living being to live without facing worries and troubles and mental disturbances. It is impossible for any living being to exist in this world without facing so many external forces like wind and heat and rain and lightning. So when we analyze in this way, we can understand what is possible, what is impossible. It is possible for us to stop all our suffering if we work for that. It is possible for us to stop our death. When you stop rebirth, no more death. To stop our death also. It is possible for us to experience, to gain everlasting or unchangeable bliss without worries or unsatisfactoriness in our life. But we do not know the method. We create our own imagination. That is why I told you, in the Buddha's 10 kind of bala or strength, he knows what is possible, what is impossible. So we also must develop our understanding that these things are impossible. Although we crave for them, we are crazy, we want, but impossible. So if we can realize this, we don't create unsatisfactoriness or disappointment. Anicca-vata sankhara. All these sankharas, all these component things, all are impermanent or changeable, transient, never remain forever, although we like it. We like it, but later assume that we can remain in this world forever without dying. But later, we do not know what to do with this life. This life becomes real nuisance, real burden. Then we plan how to get rid of it. We get fed up with this. Lot of disappointment. Craving is supporting this idea at the beginning, but the same craving creates disappointment. Anicca-vata sankhara. Uppada vaya dhammino. Uppada come into existence. Vaya decay, disappear. Dhammino, it is natural. It is dhammata. Dhammino, dhammata means natural. Not done by another person or any external forces. Usually people believe created by God, destroyed by God, taken away by God. These are very childish ideas when we analyze from intellectually. Even scientists also fully agree that how these things come into existence. Great philosophers, psychologists, great thinkers in this world, they know how things come into existence. Just now I mentioned Uppada Vaya Dhammino, this is natural. Upajjitva nirujjanti. If anything that come into existence, definitely that must disappear, nirujjanti. Must disappear. Cannot remain without changing and disappearing. Therefore, tesang upasamo sukho, upasama, to get rid of this problem. Sukho gives happiness. So if we can get rid of this, then we experience sukho, sukha, happiness. We gain happiness when that craving is no more for existence. We gain happiness when you stop that rebirth which create, which condition our death. We gain happiness when we come to know that we have stopped our death. Tesang upasamo sukho. So if we can see the end of this journey, then we can satisfy. But we cannot satisfy without completing halfway. We have to continue this. Continuity means birth and death, then birth and death, then birth and death, then birth and death. We call continuation. Then where is happiness? No happiness. When you stop this one, then happiness, then confidence we gain. Next one. Achirang vatayang kayo pathaving adhisesati chuddho apeta viññāno niratthaṃ kalingaram achiraṃ vatayam kāyo pathaving adhisesati chuddho apeta viññāno niratthaṃ kalingaram. Before long, this body will lie on the earth, abundant and devoid of consciousness, useless as a log. This body that we are holding won't last long, a long period, although we like it. So one day this will collapse and we can see life on this earth without consciousness. Now we have consciousness, but after our death, in that body there is no consciousness. Consciousness is already departed, separated from the body. When the consciousness is there and the life also there. When the consciousness departs, life process also departs. Life cannot exist without consciousness. But life can exist without physical body. Chuddho apeta vijnano. Vijnana is separated. But three things must separate from our body. Then the death take place. I have explained earlier. What are those three things? Cannot remember. Ayu, Usmad, Vijnana. Not only Vijnana. Altogether three. First thing is Ayu. Lifespan. One particular karma which is responsible for producing or creating this life. And all the other karmas later either support or oppose or object and cooperate. There are different kind of other karmas. But one particular karma is called Janaka karma, productive karma, generative karma. That karma is responsible for our lifespan. If that karma is weak, when the conception takes place in the mother's womb, then the maximum lifespan also reduces. Because karmic energy is not strong enough to carry on, to maintain that life. Now when we light an oil lamp, oil, wick and flame. Now there are three things. Oil is like our karma. Wick is just like our physical body. Flame is just like our life. The flame comes into existence because of the element of the body and the karmic energy, oil. If oil is no more, burnt completely, but the wick still remains, the flame cannot exist. If the wick is burned earlier, oil alone cannot produce the flame. Again, the flame disappears. So the karmic energy is just like the oil in that lamp. When oil and wicks both are more than enough to continue, but suddenly wind blows, again flame disappears. External karmic energy, obstructive, destructive karma, interrupt the continuity of this life. Again, when the oil is no more, flame is going to disappear or fading away. Then somebody come and pour some more water, the oil into the lamp. Again, the flame lasts 1 or 2 hours, continue. So supportive karma, when we are weak, some of our supportive karma help us to continue our life. But the generative karma, the productive karma which is responsible for this life must be there. Although that karma exists, but certain other karmic energies, external forces can interrupt and disturb. That is why it's called uncertain. Life is uncertain. The next one is heat energy, heat element. Among those four elements, heat element is the most important element to sustain life energy, life process. So if that heat element remains, death never takes place. Then the last one is vijnana, consciousness. Consciousness, mental energy. Mental energy is related to our karmic energy. These two are interrelated. So the mental energy is separated, then the karmic energy also separates. Now all the three important energies or elements, karmic energy and heat, consciousness, mental energy. Then the death takes place. Then what is death? The body remains here, two elements also separated, the life process, mental energy continue and landed somewhere else again. And mental energy choose according to karmic energy, the place. Karmic energy guide and our craving and attachment pull. Then landed somewhere, either humans or animals or devas or brahmas or any other forms of living beings. So others have nothing to do with this. Our own mind, our own karma. Therefore, our mind is responsible for our life. Our karma is responsible for our life. So, achirang vatayankayo pathavin adhisesati chuddho apeta vijnano nirathang vakalinga. So this body won't last long. After a few years this will collapse. Like on the earth, as the burial or cremation take place, without consciousness and without even important elements, all separate and disintegrate. This is the real nature of our body. Next one. Anabhito tato aga ananunyato ito gato yatha gato tatha gato katat paridevana anabhito tato aga ananunyato ito gato yatha gato tatha gato katat paridevana. Uninvited, he has come hither. He has departed hence without approval, even as he came. Just so he went. What lamentation then could there be? So simple. Anabhito tato aga. We come to this world without any invitation from anybody. Nobody invited us to come to this world. But father and mother supported, bring us. But we came to them. They did not go anywhere in searching us. They cannot choose. But we choose our own father and mother according to our own karma. That is why sometimes rebirth, appearance, birth take place in unfortunate families with unfortunate, very unlucky parents. Their own karma. Now let us take those millions who are dying and starving in Ethiopia and all the certain African countries. Who invited them to go there? Who created them to suffer and to die like this? Nobody. That is their own karma. They have landed in certain areas according to their own karma. So, parents cannot choose, otherwise every father and every mother choose very good children, very intelligent, very handsome children, cannot. But we have seen very pretty, very handsome parents produce children look like monkeys. Why? So scientific interpretation also not true, these genes and genetics and those sort of things. Cannot. They cannot play the fool with karma, their own karma. I have seen one photograph which appeared in a newspaper here in this country. Still I got that. 5 children in one family. Father and mother are very normal. They are not distorted figures. But all those 5 children are so ugly and very horrible looking, worse than monkeys, their faces. That it is mentioned, their father every day goes out and shoot monkeys and eat monkey flesh. And all the 5 children are worse than monkeys. I got the photo with me. It appeared in the newspaper. The mind, that father's mind, molded these figures according to his mental energy. So that means the outlook, the features, distorted because of that mental energy. In fact, modern medical science advise the expecting mothers not to hang very ugly and horrible looking pictures in their bedroom, because every day can see these features. According to these visions, some changes take place in the baby's health. Again they say, after few months, I think after 6 months, don't make horrible voices or noises, frightening. Must be very soothing sound or voice, nice music or chanting, but not shouting, not rock and roll music. Very soothing one, because that is the time that babies, the faculties, senses start to develop and can grasp the sound vibration. So the people tried this, it is true. So we come to this world according to our own karma, and we choose the place. When the Buddha wanted to come to this world, he has completed all the 10 perfections or paramitas, all the good qualities and sila and precepts and morals and discipline, mental training, purity, knowledge, everything. And he is waiting, because there are 5 factors which are most important. Otherwise, the Buddhas never appear. Kalam, Desancha, Deepancha, Kulam, Matara, these 5 things. Observe very carefully. Otherwise, no meaning, wastage. First thing is the time. Whether this period, this time is suitable for a Buddha to appear in this world. When people are enjoying their life without suffering too much, the Buddhas never appear during that period. Because people are not ready to listen to a religious way of life, to lead a religious way of life. When people are suffering all over the world, at that time also the Buddhas never appear. Because people have no time to think about religion, all the while struggling to get rid of their suffering. When this situation normalized, means sufferings and pleasure both are there equally, that is the time the Buddha will appear. The time factor is very important. Another example, Kapusanda, Konagama, Kasyapa, Gautama, 4 Buddhas within this world cycle. So the previous Buddhas was Kasyapa. Kasyapa Buddha's dispensation means his dharma, his teaching, did not last long. Completely forgotten by the people. Not like Gautama the Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha. Now 2500 years, still we talk and discuss and practice, still active. But Kasyapa Buddha's Dhamma disappears. It is a short period. The reason is, at that time, morals and ethics and discipline were very advanced. Therefore, Kasyapa Buddha did not preach very much, not necessary. People are good. If people are not sick, doctors never give medicine. The Buddhas never preached if there are no mistakes. Having seen certain mistakes or immorals or wicked or cruel, dangerous things, then they preach. So during Kasyapa Buddha's period, people were more civilized, more cultured. Therefore the Kasyapa Buddha did not preach very much. And that situation did not last long, the way of life. Therefore, when more and more corruptions and immorals and wicked things started, nobody to guide them properly. Dhamma is not strong enough. When you study the Dhamma taught by Gautama the Buddha for 45 years, this is enough for even millions of years. All the enough materials, instructions, guidance, advices are there. Because he has seen all the immoral, all the wicked and cruel and harmful and good things. This is another reason. Now let me complete this. What are the 5 things? Time. First one. Next one is Desa. Desa means which direction, whether the east or the west or north or south. They find out. where such people exist on this earth who are willing, who are ready to accept, to digest, to understand the Dhamma that he is going to preach, whether the east or west. So he has chosen the east, but not the west. Then the country, at that time, which country is suitable? Whether China or India or America or Europe. Observing very carefully. This is my personal opinion, that all the Buddhas appear only in India. Personally, I don't believe that, because all these things are recorded in India. Why China cannot produce a Buddha? Why America cannot produce a Buddha in time to come? Why only in India? Why always we take Indians are the good people or religious people? What about others? There are certain things in every religion. Let it be anything. Sakya Muni Buddha has chosen India at that time. Yes, he is right. Indian people are religious minded. They are not materialist. Then Kula. Kula means caste or class. In certain countries there is caste system. Certain countries only class, no caste. In China only class system, no caste. India caste system, no class. Caste system has no class. It's horrible, their caste system. We cannot imagine. So-called low caste people are not allowed to come and take bucket of water also from their well. If they take water from that well, they cannot drink water. They don't eat food touched by these low caste people. So the Buddha wanted to find out suitable caste. There are 4. Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra. 4 caste system in India, even today. Their religion says, Chatur Varnang Maya Drishtang Guna Karma Vibhagasa in Bhagavad Gita. God or Krishna says, according to their guna and karma, their way of life and their karma, their action, I created 4 castes: Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra. However, the Brahmana must come first. In Buddhist book, always Kshatriya come first, because the Buddha was born in Kshatriya family. You see? But in all the other Indian philosophy and religion, Brahmin come first. Brahmins are the priests and the masters and teachers and gurus and for everything. They are first class. And God says, He created Brahmin from His mouth. Like this. So many Brahmins come out. Then Kshatriya. Kshatriya, those who use their arms. Rulers, kings, ministers, who governed, ruled the country. God created them from His shoulder. Just throw away and they come out. Vaishya, third one, God created them from his stomach. They are the ones who work very hard, doing all trade and business and all sort of things, work to develop the country. Kshastri, Shudra. Kshastriya Brahmana, Shudra means the low caste, lowest. God created them from his feet, leg, to do labor work, regarded as low caste. This is Indian system of caste discrimination. The Buddha tried his level best to abolish. People did not accept. Now he wanted to choose suitable caste for him. He did not choose Brahmin because still there are some prejudices among the what you call ordinary people, discrimination, Brahmins and non-Brahmins. Many people don't like Brahmins. Because of that prejudice, the Buddha has not chosen Brahmin, high class family. He has chosen Kshatriya rulers, Sakya clan, Kshatriya family. But he has not chosen low caste family. Why? If we come out from a low caste family as Buddha, people do not respect. People do not listen to him. In Bengal, there was a very powerful ruler, Kumarila Bhatta, his name. He says, the Buddha's teaching is just like pure milk in a container made out of dog skin. Milk is good, but the container is dirty, dog skin, therefore we cannot take it. What does he say? The Buddha is not a Brahmin, therefore he is not pure and holy. His Dhamma is good, but we cannot accept. See the caste discrimination, still they maintain. These things you can find in Indian history. So he has chosen Kshatriya ruler's family, then without any discrimination, whether rich or poor, low caste or high caste, people accepted his teaching. Kalang desancha deepancha kulang. Last one is Matra. Matru, mother. Mother is very important. Mother must be very virtuous, religious minded, pure, healthy person. Then he has chosen Queen Mahamaya to be the mother. So this very clearly shows that we choose our own father and our own mother, our own country, where to be born. We do not come here accidentally. Kammang satte vibhajati yadidang hina panitata. Here are the sayings of the Buddha. All these discriminations, differences, good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant, fortunate and unfortunate, all these things exist because of our own karma. although we are not invited by another person to come to this world, our own karmic and mental energy supported us to be born in certain areas, certain countries, for us to lead our life according to our own karma. Anauhato ito aga, ananunyato ito gato. Without asking or without inviting or without approval, he departed or we depart from this world. So when we are going to die, there is nobody to come and call us. Nobody to come and say, okay, now you can go. The common usage, people always say they are waiting for the call. They are referring to God. God is calling, come on, now ready. This is un-Buddhistic, that saying, we are waiting for the call. There is no call. So, departed from this world without any invitation or without any approval, when those energies are exhausted, no more. Just now I mentioned karmic energy, mental energy, heat energy. When these three energies separated, and we are chabo. Others are not responsible for that. Ananunyato ito gato. Yatha gato, tatha gato. This word tatha gata be used for the Buddha. In Mahayana Sanskrit sutras always use Tathagata, not the Buddha. Pali Tripitaka use Bhagava. Sanskrit Mahayana Sutra always is Tathagata. There are two meanings. Tatha Agata, Tatha Gata. Agata means came. Gata means gone. The Buddha, Tatha Agata, he came to this world just like the previous Buddhas. By fulfilling all the good qualities, perfection and knowledge and good qualities, just like the previous Buddha. Therefore he is called Tathagata. Tathagata, he has gone from this world, attained Parinibbana, just like the previous Buddhas, by fulfilling all his duties, his mission, by guiding, enlightening others, just like the previous Buddha. Therefore Buddha is called Tathagata. Here, Yathagato, Tathagato, same meaning. As we came, so we departed, go according to our own will, our own karma. So we came to this world without an invitation, we go away from this world without an invitation. Either God or devils or ghosts never come and call us. Our own karma. Yathagato tathagato. Katatha paridevana. Then why worry about this? This is the nature. Yathagato tathagato. There is a simple saying about money. Money come to my hand from another person. I did not produce money. If this money can come to my hand from another person, it is quite possible for this money to go to somebody else from my hand. This is the nature of money. Money comes to me from another person. Again money goes to another person from my hand. Then why worry? When money comes, you are happy. When money goes, you worry. Here, we came to this world without an invitation. We depart from this world also as we came without an invitation. Then why worry about it? Last one. Putta matti dhanam atti iti balo vihanyati atta hi atno natti kuto putta kuto dhanam putta matti dhanam atti iti balo vihanyati atta hi atno natti kuto putta kuto dhanam. The narrow-minded person torments himself with the thought, I have sons, I have wealth, when he himself is not his own. When can there be sons or wealth? This is also a very good advice. Puttamatti dhanamatti. I have children, I have money, I have property. Why worry? I can do anything whatever I like. But this idea is not correct. You must know how to make use of them properly. Yes, it is true, but not always. Attahi attano natti. This body or this life also not belong to me. If this body is not belong to me, how can I claim that they are my children, they are my property and wealth and money? Because of this idea, many people have to suffer disappointment, unhappiness, frustration, lot of problems, worries. So when we claim our children as our property, when we claim our wealth as ours, we have to think. Although we claim them as ours because of our craving, actually they are not belong to us. Children, father and mother take enormous troubles and pains to bring them up, to educate them, to look after. Later, many of those children become very mischievous and very ungrateful, create enormous troubles and worries and problems, or sometimes they kill their own father and mother. And if those children are their property, why do they behave like this? And they are not ready to listen to their father and mother, go against them. Because of that craving and attachment, we create this idea. But just because of these sayings of the Buddha, you should not neglect your children. What for? They are not our children. The Buddha says they are not our children, then why worry, leave them alone? Then again you are wrong. You have worldly duties, responsibilities and obligations. You are bound. Therefore you cannot get rid of them by thinking in that way. There are a lot of things that you have to do for them. Again, they give a lot of what you call this consolation. They console you, they entertain you, they satisfy your emotion, your affection, you develop, and you create some inspiration. These things are very important for your life. But in spite of all these things, don't forget the advice given by the Buddha also. When you experience certain problems and troubles and discrimination, remember what the Buddha said. Oh, that is why Buddha said they are not our children. Then you know how to adjust it. Attari attano natti. That means I cannot control my own body. I cannot control my own life. There are so many other forces created by me, my own karma, my mental habit. Kuto putta kuto dhana. Therefore, don't take them take for granted, and don't depend on them forever. Because sometimes you miss the target. If you depend on them, let them do their duties. Teach them to fulfill their responsibilities. Teach them to be grateful. It is your duty. If they become ungrateful, you are also responsible for that. Because you have not taught them to be grateful. If they are ungrateful, then think what the Buddha says, then you can satisfy. King Bimbisara, how he suffered, how he died, because of his son, Ajatasattu. King Ajatasattu was misled by Devadatta, the Buddha's disciple, who developed jhana meditation and developed psychic power, can perform miracles. But craving is still there in the mind. He wanted to become the head of the Buddha Sasana. He asked the Buddha to hand over authority, power, for him to control everything in Buddhism. The Buddha knew he is wicked, he is foolish, he is not pious. How can he hand over such authority? Again, there is no such thing in Buddhism, handing over the Buddhahood to another person. It is like this. A doctor cannot appoint his son as a doctor. A lawyer cannot appoint his son as a lawyer. They must study, qualified. So in the same manner, the other person also must complete all the good qualities, virtues to become a Buddha. Cannot appoint. So he got angry with the Buddha. He decided to kill the Buddha. Then went to this young prince, Ajatasattu. Ajatasattu. Told him, you are very strong, but your father was so strong. He can live many more years. Why need to kill him? So that you can become the ruler. I am going to kill the Buddha. I will control Buddhism, you can control the country. That foolish prince accepted his advice. So what did he do? He did not kill him at once. He asked people to arrest him. The place where he was arrested, just like Batu Caves, I have visited that place, surrounded by the rocks mountain and cannot escape. Only one entrance, and that one is completely blocked, higher than Batu Caves. He was arrested in that place. And no one can visit him. Allow him to die without giving any food. Queen was allowed to visit his mother, but was strictly prohibited to carry any food. So when she visited, what she did, she hid some food here, this what we call the knot here. Indian ladies, they have very big this thing here, knot. Hide some food and others cannot see. He goes inside and take out and hand over to the king. Later she was caught. Then every time when she entered, they examine here whether she carry any food. Now what she does, after taking bath, she apply honey and ghee all over the body and dress very nicely and go and ask the king to lick the whole body. And also caught. That's strictly prohibited. Then he gave order for people to cut his feet. Then allow me to walk on stone or salt, torturing him, own father. So one day, when he was talking to his mother, the queen, somebody came and told him, this young man is married now, a prince. His wife had given birth to a baby boy. Oh, he was so happy, he was jumping. Then he said to the mother, I think when I was born, my father also enjoyed like this. Then the mother said, yes. Then he revealed something. When you were a small boy, you had a boil here in one of your fingers. By applying medicine, we could not stop your crying. So what your father did, he sucked your finger and then you stopped crying. So one day when he was sucking your finger, the boil burst in the mouth. But he did not take out your finger to throw away the pus. He swallowed. This is the way how your father treated you. Now you can understand how you treat your father. He opened his eyes, immediately gave order to go and release and bring him back. Too late. Unfortunately, the poor king dead already when they approached. That is why he is regarded as one of the sinners who killed his own father, mortal sin, according to Buddhism. If anybody killed his or her own father or mother, nobody in this world who can change the bad effect of that karma, bad karma. Any amount of good karmas cannot topple, cannot overcome this. But certain other karmas we can overcome, but not this. He realized that he has done a very bad karma. After that he became a very strong, very devout Buddhist. To hold the first Buddhist council 3 months after passing away of the Buddha also, under his support, patronage, Ajatasattu. The name was given by astrologers. Ajatasattu. Ajata means unborn. Sattu means enemy. Unborn enemy. Why? The mother, when she was expecting this baby, she had some sort of craving. Usually expecting mothers, again this kind of craving, to take one particular thing, to eat something, either sour things or something like that. Then this particular lady, this queen, had craving to suck blood from the king. When he revealed this to astrologers, they said, the baby in your womb can become the Satru, enemy of your father. Therefore name was given Ajata Satru, unborn enemy. So he has done lot of meritorious deeds. But nobody revealed or explained to him that you cannot overcome the bad effect that you have committed. Not necessary. Allow him to do good work and good karma, no harm. But this is the nature of karmic order. Emperor Asoka and King Bimbisara. When you study their background, their history, they have killed their own father, the ruler, the king, for 7 generations. Their own father. The father was killed by his own son to become the ruler. This is the nature of human mind. This is the nature of craving. This craving can do any nasty, wicked, cruel thing in this world. So if our own children can do to our own father and mother, so how can we claim that as our own property? Yes, in worldly sense they are very useful to attend to you, to look after you when you are old, when you are sick, when you are in trouble. Yes, some children are very grateful, very useful. But many others, very nasty, very wicked, very cruel, very ungrateful. So if we realize this earlier, we do not create this disappointment or frustration. Oh, our children are like this, so they are very ungrateful, and worry and cry and curse. To avoid all these things, learn what the Buddha said. Then you can do your duty, allow them to do their duty without discriminating. I think enough. Next item also very interesting. Attha Maha Sangvegavattu. 8 sorrowful stages in our life. So next Friday. Our all-night chanting also coming. It's next Saturday, isn't it? Next Saturday. We can continue. But every year we experience the problem with the stage. They are making this stage. Never mind. We can do it outside there. Tomorrow I have to go to Ipoh. Yes. Punyānumodana, sharing of merits. Imina punya kammena upajjhaya gunottara acari upakaraca mata pita piya mamam Suriyo Chandi Maharaja Gunavanta Narapicha Brahma Maharaja Indacha Lokapalacha Devata Yamo Mitta Manusacha Majjata Verika Picha Sabbe Satta Sukhi Hantu Punyani Bhakatani Me Sukhancha Dividam Bentu Kipam Papetavo Matam Imina punya kammena Imina uddisena ca Kippahang sulabhe ceva Tanho padana cedanam Ye santane hinadamma Yava nibbanato mamam Nassantu sabbadaeva Yatta jato bhave bhave Ujujitto sattipanyo Sallekho viriyavamina Mara bantu lokadam katunca viriyesu me Buddha di pavaro nato Dhammo नाथो पश्येत सम्बुद्धो संघो नाथोत्तरो ममं केशोत्तमानुभावेन मारोपा संलभन्तु माम्